if you want to know what really went down in Egypt, keep on watching. Hey y'all, it's your girl Poundkake, and I'm coming to you today with another video. Today I want to go over a lot of the things that happened in Egypt. I know people were asking like, hey, you know, I want you to get more into it, elaborate a little more, and I decided, let's do it. So, all right, as always, y'all already know how this goes. I have my trusty dusty phone because it's going to keep me accountable and just give me some talking points to remember. I do have everything in here written down, so I know what to go over, so it's going to be a lot. I might make 2 separate videos, not sure, but depends on how off topic we go. But I want to go ahead and kind of just explain my trip to Egypt. It was a last minute impromptu trip. I decided to go maybe a week before I left, maybe 2 weeks before I left, which is actually one of the shortest turnaround time frames that I've had in regards to my travel. So yeah, but same thing, I got my flight. I used this app called GOTOGATE. It wasn't an app, it was a website. It was called GOTOGATE. And I'll leave those details, of course, in the description bar. But it was my first time using it. Of course, it's a third party, but they had the best rate for the ticket that I wanted with the smallest time frame for a layover. And my ticket was like $600 after taxes and everything like that. So it really wasn't that expensive. And then my room for 17 nights was like $264, I believe. It was like $12 a night, honestly. Like, it was super duper cheap. I didn't spend that much, but we'll get into that as well. But of course, again, I went ahead and booked it through booking.com, and you gotta know my thing. I'll leave that in the description bar below as well. Now, the cost, if you break it down, just for flight and accommodation, was literally like $900, give or take, depending on how you look at it. It was super inexpensive to go to Egypt, you guys. I'm in LA, and the flight, the first stint was 16.5 hours, and then I had an hour layover, and then I went from LA to Qatar, and then from Qatar to Egypt was like another 4.5 hours. So roughly like 21 hours for that flight, which is roughly about the same as when I went to Thailand. So it wasn't too bad. Once I got there, I did bring $1,000 in cash because I know I want to go ahead and convert some of that because I was gonna be there for quite some time. So I took $500 and I converted it to Egyptian pounds. You know, it's at the airport, so I got dollar for dollar what I got, and I think that ended up being like 7,000. I'm not sure the exact amount, but I'll go ahead and put that here. What the exact amount was after I converted my $500 into Egyptian pounds, and then I kept $500 in cash for me, and then of course whatever I felt I didn't need to spend, I would of course exchange it back once I got back to the airport, or you know, if I had met someone, which I ended up doing, give it to them. But what's crazy was I didn't even have any money left over, and we'll get into that as well. Now, $1 US is 15 Egyptian pounds. So yeah, a lot of stuff is pretty inexpensive there. However, I spent the most money on this trip. Like I said, I brought $1,000 in cash. I had 500 in Egyptian pounds, and I still have 500 in US dollars. However, I paid for my excursions through my hotel, and I paid like $465 for all my excursions. We'll get into that. And that's on my card. I also purchased a piece of jewelry for like $100 on my card. And then I spent all my Egyptian pounds that I had, and then I also spent some of the cash as well. So I spent like $1,500 once I got to Egypt, which is kind of wild to me. But yeah, I spent a lot of freaking money while I was there. Now, the food was pretty inexpensive. The first few days, if you see my vlogs, I didn't really leave the hotel because I was kind of overwhelmed. Like, everything was overwhelming for me in Egypt. I'm not even gonna tell you no tales, like just like the traffic and like the people and just how things were. Like, it was really hectic. And the first like few days, I didn't even want to leave my room. I was like, I would go outside and I would stand there and then I'd be like, let me reel it back. I'll try this again tomorrow. Like, it was really, really overwhelming. But the food was pretty expensive. I ate at the hotel my first couple days. Like, a meal was like 200 Egyptian pounds. So like $10 roughly. So it was average, to be honest, at the hotel. But once I left the hotel and went to restaurants, I was paying like 145 Egyptian baht. Like, I was spending less than that when I went out to go eat in the city, you know. But of course, that's the price you pay when you don't leave, because again, I was overwhelmed, so I didn't leave. When I left, I was saving bucks. I didn't get the hotel, not ever again. Okay. Now, in regards to food, I will be honest with you guys, like, I was really kind of like hesitant because I'm like, I don't really care for like lentils and chickpeas and hummus, and I really thought that's like really all that they ate there, like pita bread, all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I don't like that kind of food. However, they have a lot of options. Like, I ate a lot of chicken. They have this salad I'm obsessed with. It was so freaking good. The Egyptian pan fried beans were actually really good. The falafel was really good. I don't even like falafel, but it was really tasty. So I did find that they had a lot of food options I really enjoyed. So if that's one of your things as well, you're like myself, who isn't too spontaneous when it comes to like those type of things, I say give it a try, because it actually turned out really good. And if you decide that you don't like that, they do have places that you're familiar with, like Pizza Hut, Popeyes, Kentucky Fried Chicken, McDonald's. You can go ahead and eat there, you know, but you never can really go wrong with chicken. So keep in mind that they do have really good food options. Now, it's time for the weather. I was there pretty much, I got there on the 1st of March and I left there on the 17th. So for that entire time I was there, it was cold, which I kind of enjoyed because I knew I was gonna be wearing a lot of clothes and being covered up, and I didn't want to be sweating. So it happened to be really cold at that time, and I actually appreciated it being cold. I was told that like fall and winter up until April after Ramadan, that is the best time to come because the weather is a lot cooler. After that, you ain't owning that heat. So be mindful if you're gonna be doing all these tours, going to these pyramids and these temples, to be mindful that it's gonna be hot. So the best time to go is, like I said, fall and then up until April. So keep in mind that's the best time to go. Now, in regards to the culture, now we all know Egypt is 95% Muslim, 5% Coptic, and that Coptic is Christian. And the Muslims are really set in their ways. Like, when I tell you, they give me a heart, the women particularly. And it's not to disrespect anyone, any Muslims or any Egyptians that come across this video, but they were really rude to me. Not all of them, but many of them. Like, they gave me snarls, like side eyes. They would stare at me, like, and I remember I had asked my friend, I'm like, yo, like, what is the deal? Like, why do they have an issue with me? And he was like, well, it's because you kind of look like you might be, you could pass for an Egyptian, and you're out here doing these things and not following the culture. So they're looking at you like, what are you doing? And then the other hand, they're jealous because you don't have to follow the protocol, right? Because like, here I am, an American going to another country, and I'm coming, you know, I'm seeing things outside of my culture. Well, they don't leave Egypt, right? So they only see what they see in Egypt. And so they look at me like, who are you, you know? So I understand like them being closed-minded, you know, but sometimes I was just like, damn, like, bitch, crack a smile, like, do something, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, that is what it is. But I didn't like it. And to be honest, the most disrespectful encounter I had was at the Coptic church. So I went to the church, and this lady like walked up to me and like looked up at me. It was just like, ugh. Yeah, I call her out her name. I was just like, watch your tone. Like, how you gonna disrespect me like that? Like, I was a little upset. And it wasn't even a Muslim woman who did it. That's what was crazy about it. So I was just like, you know what? Like, I don't wanna come out here starting no problems and go to jail, because, ooh, like, I don't like it. I don't like it. Now, I also want to get on Kickbacks. kickbacks are real in Egypt. Like, people are gonna try to get you to go into these stores or buy these products or do this or do that, because they all get kickbacks for getting you to come shop with them or getting you to come purchase something. And people seem like they're being nice to you, but they're really not, because they're gonna get a cut, right? Like, for example, my hotel owner would take me to he took me to this Egyptian cotton spot and wanted me to get, you know, stuff from there. I'll get something from there, they'll charge me more than what it should be costing, and then he'll get a kickback for bringing me there to purchase something. As well, I went to a perfume shop that I didn't want to go to, and they were charging me these ridiculously high prices to purchase these oils and these creams that I did not want. And of course, my owner gets a kickback, right? So that's how they, you know, that's how like the money goes around there. Everyone helps someone else out and they get kickbacks, but it's not helping you out, it's helping them out, if that makes sense. So be mindful of that. And you know, again, just the dishonesty. I don't like all that dishonesty, that lying, that telling the truth. Like, tell me the truth. Like, you ain't gotta get over me, you know? So keep that in mind as well. Now, the pyramids. Let's talk about the pyramids. Let me put my phone down for this. Now, the pyramids is gonna be a very overwhelming experience. What I mean by that, if you are a tourist, please do not go there alone. And why I say this, please take a tour guide with you, okay? If you need a recommendation, I have a friend I met there. He's super cool. We still keep in contact to this day. His name is Kalal. Him and his cousin OSAMA, they are dope. I mean, the dopest, right? But please do not go there by yourself. When I tell you, like, the haggling, you know, the people being shysty, you know, trying to lure you in. Like, it's so much that goes on at the pyramid. Everyone's selling something, everyone's selling the same thing, so all the businesses are saturated, right? Everyone's selling you know, those scarves, everyone's selling papyrus, everyone's selling, you know, little miniature statues, magnets, anything you can think of, everyone's selling it, right? So hello, like, hey, don't buy there, buy here, don't do this, do that. He charged you 50, I'll charge you 40. He charged you 40, I'll charge you 30. He charged you 30, I'll charge you 20. Like, it's just constant. Like, you can't even enjoy because there's so much pressure. Like, you're gonna wanna leave. Like, and I went with the tour guide twice. I went to the pyramids twice. Once with my hotel owner, and I went back because I didn't know I was going that day, so I wasn't even dressed for my photo op. So I had to go back. But not only that, there's going to be camels, carriages, horses, all of those things are encompassed there at the pyramids, and they want you to, of course, part in their business. So they're like, hey, you know, you want to ride the camel, and they're really good at being like manipulating. They'll say, hey, you know, get on the camel. Oh, it's free. Oh, I'll take you here. Oh, let me take a picture of you. Let me do this. Let me do that. Don't fall for it, because at the end of the day, they'll be like, well, they'll expect tip money because in Egypt they're a tipping culture. So they're gonna expect tip money, and not only just tip money, they're gonna charge you. Let's say you find a guy at the bottom of the pyramid and he's like, hey, I have a camel, take a picture with the camel. Oh, don't worry about it, take a picture. And you guys don't negotiate price, he can charge you whatever he wants to charge you. I recommend you negotiate price first before you do anything. Take a picture, take a ride, any of that. Negotiate the price and be clear on what is entailed in that price. That you are going to be taken to wherever you want to go and brought back to where you were picked up. Record the conversation. Grab your phone. Record the conversation. Because what they'll try to do, they're going to try to shiest you. I've seen it happen where a girl was rode a camel up to one of the pyramids and got left there because the guy, they weren't clear on what the terms were. And they'll try to make it seem like it's free and they're your friend. They're like, oh, you're my friend. Oh, hey, friend. Hey, this and that. They're not your friend. They want the money. They see you from another country. They see you from America. They see dollar signs. Dollar signs. Dollar signs. They think you're rich. And it was so crazy to me. I'm just like, dang, like, this place is so beautiful and so enriched in all this history. And it's like full of like just people who just don't represent it well, you know what I mean? Like, and not everyone is bad. Like, don't get me wrong, let me be very clear on that. Not everyone is bad, not everyone's a shyster, but a lot of them are, right? They have families to feed, I get it. And tourism isn't as how it used to be because of what's going on, but Like, you treating people this way, it's just not okay. Like, the pyramids were like one of the like sketchiest places I've been. And as well, when I went back the second time with my friend, I went with him and we were buying tickets, and you guys, it was almost like I'll insert a clip. I'll insert a clip right here of how it was when I went back to the pyramid the second time. They were like fighting for tickets. I don't know if they get a discount, or they're like, hey, you know, we'll give you, you know, you're from here, you're trying to work, this and that. Like, y'all, it's just hectic. Like, I don't like it. Like, I just don't like it. It's too aggressive for me. I didn't feel like vacation, and it being my first time somewhere that's not tropical, the experience for me wasn't as pleasant as I would like to have been. Again, my last week there, I had a really good time because I met some cool people that turned my experience around. But like the first like 11 days was like for me. Like, it was a no for me. So like I said, be mindful at them pyramids, because they are hungry. They see you, they're like, oh, it's prey. Like, let's go ahead and see what we can get from them. Let's see what we can get from the situation. Try to get this money. Like, let me just see, let me see. And again, they use that, hey, my friend. You're not my friend. Like, we not that. So just be mindful. Transportation, I would never drive in Egypt. And I feel like I could drive anywhere. Like, I feel like I'm a really great driver, and me driving is not an issue. But Egypt is not a place that I'll be driving, because they have no traffic laws. And when I tell you, there's like no oncoming and ongoing traffic. You can go either way on both sides. And not like, there's no lanes. Like, there's nothing that separates you from another car, or, you know, another mode of transportation. Like, nothing separates you, right? So you wanna listen here, you on the road competing with buses, trucks, cars, bikes, scooters, skates, pedestrians, camels, horses, donkeys, cats, stray dogs. All these things you are competing with on the road. And when I tell you there's no lanes that separate you, literally, if you're driving and a bike can come and try to get a little bit of space in front of you, they can. Or if a motorcycle can come, or if a pedestrian can come, or a camel can come, like, y'all, it is just like, I've never seen anything like it. Like, never in my life. And I was like, this is crazy. As you've seen, if you've seen my vlogs, I was in 4 accidents, right? 4 car accidents. I was not the driver, I was in the back seat. And like, the people don't care. There's no traffic laws. They don't care. People hang out on the freeway. Somebody can go on this way, decide to go on the wrong way, bust a U-turn and come back around, go the other way. Like, it was, like, when I say overwhelming, it was overwhelming. And I was like, yeah, I won't be driving here. Like, that's a no for me. Now, in regards to the people, like I said, the women were kind of like, some of them were really cool. I met Galal's wife, Fatima, and her cousin, Mayada. Hey, girl. They were super nice. And other women were nice as well, but a lot of people weren't as nice. A lot of women weren't as nice. A lot of men would be snarling at me too, kind of looking at me like, who are you? And then I was also smoking shisha, and I guess that's frowned upon for Muslim women, but I ain't Muslim, so what is we doing? Like, I'm not Muslim, so it don't apply to me, you know? But apparently they was not feeling it. And then you will be called. So I'm gonna tell you this, women, black women specifically, if you go to Egypt, they gonna call you brown sugar. When I tell you they gonna call you brown sugar, everywhere I went, hey, brown sugar, brown sugar, brown sugar, brown sugar. I was like, damn, like, is this a compliment or it's not? I was called Nubian Queen before. It was calling me a Nubian Queen. Just all kind of things. And I wasn't even like dressed, y'all. Like, I had a ponytail, as you saw. Like, what? You know? So they don't call you brown sugar. Just be mindful of that. Like, if you go somewhere, they'll be like, hey, brown sugar. But I will say, the children were absolutely delightful. Every child that I came across was like so, sorry y'all. Every child I came across was so pleasant. Every experience I had with one of the children there, like, just made my heart full. Like, kids are so innocent and pure, and they just were so like intriguing. First of all, I love kids, And they were just like, oh my God, how are you? Where are you from? Nice to meet you. Welcome, 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 welcome. They wanted to talk to me, you know, get to know me, ask me questions. And I was all for it. And I was just like, this is like one of the best things about Egypt are the children. The children were cool. Except for them badass little bitches I've met at the fucking museum that was staring at me with their fucking family. But aside from them, the kids I met in the neighborhoods, like in the streets and stuff like that, were cool. Like, pleasant. Love them all. So yeah. Any recommendations that I have for the travelers? So in regards to travelers, the recommendations that I have, like I said, is always, I tell you this in every video that I come from someplace, get your currency at the goddamn airport. Duh. Like, you should have learned that from me by now if you've been watching me. Get your currency from the airport. Again, for Egypt, you need to have a visa, which you can get on arrival. You don't have to apply prior. And like I said in my video about entry requirements, I recommend doing it when you get there so you can get the cute little stamp in your passport. It'll be like a little visa on one of the pages. It's really cute. And I'm mad that I applied prior and got a printout, so I don't have that sticker or visa in my passport, which is whack. I hate that for me. But yeah, I also recommend to carry small change. Don't carry big bills. Like I said, they're a tipping country. They're a tipping country. And then if they see you pull out money and it's big bills, they're gonna try to get you for it. So it's best to keep small bills, like 20 pounds. The most I would have is like 100 Egyptian pounds, which is equivalent to like $10, $20, you know, in their eyes. So I always keep small bills because we wasn't gonna be doing that. And then what else? I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. I do recommend getting you a tour guide. They're on TripAdvisor. You can find your tour guide there. We go to the museums. Again, I have, you know, friends that I've met. I'll link the information below. You can contact them. They were really thorough, very helpful. I didn't personally get a tour with them because I had already prepaid for my tours, but just get to know them and just seeing how like forthright they are and trustworthy. I'm like, okay, cool. If people want to ask me any recommendations on any tour guides, I have 2 of them. And I have the information in the description box below, of course. Also, they can recommend you for some tours and quote you prices as well. Or you can go on TripAdvisor. Just be mindful that these museums and these pyramids are really inexpensive. They're $8 or even $10. And if you go with a guide, maybe it's 25 roughly. I'm not sure. I'm sure it's inexpensive. Don't get gamed like me and pay $465 for some little shit. The first few days I actually had tour guides and they were thorough, but after that it was bullshit. So I recommend either getting with them or going on TripAdvisor just to kind of see what they have as well in regards to booking you a tour. You always want to shop around, get the best rate so that you don't get taken advantage of. So I definitely recommend that. And then lastly, would I return to Egypt? The short answer would be no. And the reason why, I've already went. If I were to ever go back, it would be to visit my 2 friends, literally, and their families. Like, that would be the only reason why I would go back to Egypt. And then of course, you know, everyone's experience is different, right? This is my experience. Like, I'm sure if you were to go, it may be different, or someone that that you've known had went, their experience may be different. But this was my experience, right? And it's not to take away from the beautiful culture that Egypt has. It's just how things went for me, right? Like, I wanted to kind of, you know, be in the thick of it. Like, I didn't want to stay at a luxury hotel. Like, I wanted to kind of just, you know, like, just get into their culture and just see how things are. And, you know, unfortunately it wasn't something that worked out for me. But of course, I mean, I'm happy that it happened. I'm glad that I experienced that, and I'm able to share with you all. And it's not to deter you guys from going or discourage you from wanting to go. I just say, you know, maybe go about it a little differently. Don't do things that I did. Use it as like a tale, like a tall tale. Be like, you know what? I'm not gonna do what she did. Let me do something better. Let me do something different, you know? So that way you're familiar. Don't get caught up in these perfume shops. They're gonna try to sell you all these things, you know, raise the prices on everything. Like, I don't like all that bartering and going back and forth. I just don't. Tell you how much it costs from the gate. I don't wanna have to keep chipping down at prices, like going back and forth. Like, I don't like it. This ain't no option. Like, I don't like it, you know? So just be mindful. If you're ready for all that, I say give it a try. Go to Egypt. It has a lot to offer. It is still like a third world country. I will also let you know, I thought it'd be more progressive than it was. It wasn't as progressive as I thought it would be. So there's still like dirt roads. There's no elevators, no escalators. And I do recommend you be in some type of physical fitness before going there, because you will my hotel had me on the 5th floor, right? Not only was I on the 5th floor, like literally that's 2 flights of stairs per floor. That's 10 flights of stairs that I'll go to multiple times a day. Like and then you go into these pyramids and these temples and, you know, doing all these excursions. You gonna be walking, like you gonna be walking, you're gonna be climbing steps, you're gonna be sweaty, you're gonna be getting dusty, and you gonna have, like I said, be in some type of physical shape to even, you know, endure what Egypt has to offer. So make sure that you is ready for that. And if you was ready for that, you good to go. Okay, you was good to go. But yeah, I just want to go ahead and share that with you all a little bit about my experience in Egypt. I have another video coming. That's gonna go a little to the thick of things about how, you know, what really went on. Like I told y'all, I was gonna give you a video about what really went on. So y'all know how this go. I do want to thank you all for watching. If it's your first time, I want to welcome you. If it is not, I want to welcome you back. You know we love it here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And now I have my socials linked in here as well. So follow me on all my socials. I have TikTok now, my Twitter, as well as my Instagram. And it's Poundkake, like my YouTube channel. So go ahead and follow your girl. And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye.